News update. As you see, I'm packing and all. Yeah, we're packing. I don't know what we're doing, really. We are packing. We're here at Harbor Square at our home base here, our office. The Silvis is meeting right here, 423. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you today that we've had a lot of interesting things that we got to talk about. And you know me, I always like to break it down to you, as always, in ways that are simple to understand. Well, on Friday, I did not even mention this, which is the most important thing out of all the news that I hit up on Friday's edition broadcast. On that show, I forgot to even mention this, but it's so important that we're going to take about 15 minutes to talk about it. That's how important it is. Our freedom of speech has been sold out by the Democrats, or what they call the DAMs, which are really the Democrats. And some of them have sold our First Amendment out as what they're trying to do in the name of security. And now, even though they say it's only going to affect those people that are online, it actually is going to affect you here in the real world too. Because if they can take away your speech digitally, don't worry your booty. Because they're going to do it physically too. If they've already are doing it on the social media, that means every kind of social media you got: Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, just to name a few, Rabbit or Reddit, whatever the hell it's called. Don't you think and not just name a few, there's a lot more than just that, but it's the most popular ones that people use. Don't you think that they can come after you physically too? Oh, yes, they can. I mean, that's part of the bill. If they can do it digitally, they can do it when you're walking down the street having a conversation. Somebody don't like something, an official hears you, they can arrest your butt. Put your butt in a FEMA camp somewhere. That's part of that bill. That's what was crammed through on Friday. And a lot of people, while you were out drinking and having a good time with your girlfriend at the beach or at the park or at your boyfriend at the movies or at home, making love or whatever you were doing, this is what was passed through on Friday. And a lot of people probably don't even have a clue as to what that is. So Monday, tomorrow, that means tomorrow, meaning already, Monday, later on today at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m., we're going to be broadcasting Alex Jones InfoWars from D.C. live, real live show. You can catch it on YouTube. You can catch it on Infowars.com. We're going to be streaming his coverage from D.C., that's District of Columbia, not anywhere else. That's D.C., Washington, D.C., where the president is. Trump. But the thing is, we have to understand that if the president knows about this stuff, he can stop this. He can write an executive order to stop this stuff from happening. Because he's the president. Even though the House and Congress might have done this behind his back, sort of like a shadow kind of effect, like they do with a lot of things, the president, if he gets wind of it, he can actually go and stop with an executive order. And this would be a time to use one, because this was wrong to do on the people to sell out their electronic amendments as well as a physical First Amendment. And if they could do that to the First Amendment, they could do that to all the amendments. So don't think speech is the first thing. The next is your firearms. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. And, like I said, they're already messing with the speech online. The shadow banned a lot of accounts on YouTube and on, Facebook and on Twitter. I don't even use Twitter because they always have a lot of hacking going on there. That's why I stopped using Twitter. I used to have a Twitter handle, but I don't have a Twitter anymore because there's all kinds of stuff going on there. I never got hacked, but there's always accounts getting hashed on there like crazy. Same thing with Yahoo. Anybody used to have Yahoo Mail and Yahoo Messenger? Back in the day, they used to be a pretty cool app, but now it's like, I don't even know if they have a messenger anymore. I guess, does anybody know if they got a messenger? Does anybody use it? Any of you kids use it? Any of you shields use that app? Yahoo Messenger or anything? Because I was wondering, because I don't know. Back in the day when I was young, we used to use Yahoo because they used to be cool, Everybody get on there and be talking to the girlfriends and all that stuff, and their boyfriends and their co-workers and stuff, and it was kind of fun to message. It was kind of like what Facebook does through their Messenger app. If you have the Messenger app, it kind of does that on Facebook. But it's actually a lot better because you can video chat. It integrates the video and all. I almost said Yahoo. You believe that? Yahoo, sorry, does that now too. But the thing is, I don't even know if they're still there. I don't even know if they offer that as a service. Does anybody know? I haven't used it in such a coon's age. I don't even have an account with them anymore. But back to this thing, there has been an attack on our First Amendment electronically. There's been a technology war with all these bots and all these Skynet things that are actually censoring and actually taking over the web to block or to censor your speech. And it's happening with everything, not just certain videos. I mean, it's just like the DHS, Homeland Security is what that stands for, the Department of Homeland Security, and the NSA, which is, and other alphabet soup agencies, and FBI. All these are all working together to do just that. And, all this went out on Friday, was kind of smashed right in there, like in a big pile of, like they try to push things through without America knowing. And that's one of those things like they do many other times. But this is a very important thing that happened that is really bad, that has set us back. They are attacking our First Amendment, folks. In the country of UK, they have just took away weapons. They've taken away weapons there, and crime is exploding off the charts, people. They have taken away firearms from the people in UK. Remember how we said they did it already in Europe? Well, now they're doing it in UK, Russia. And the crime is just exploding off the charts, people, just like it exploded everywhere else where they took guns away. Well, it's going to explode here if they take our guns away here. That's why we need to stand up and grow a set of kahunas or a spine or balls or whatever you want to say. And we need to stand up and say, hey, we don't want our guns being taken away. We can't help we got a couple nuts out here, but everybody else shouldn't lose their right to have freedom to bear arms because a couple of people that are Looney Tunes. And people, you gotta express yourself. Watch it. Express yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like James Brown would say, watch yourself. Express yourself. Because show what you got. You got to really show it. We the people, we the republic, we're the ones that tell the government what to do, right? It's not them telling us what to do. It's us telling them what to do. Remember, it's us that give them a paycheck, and it's us that can take that paycheck away. We shut them down because we don't have to support them or give them any money. So that's the thing they need to remember. That's why it says we the people as the Constitution opens up. Because it's the people that came together that forged that document. It wasn't just 7 men, but those people spoke for all of us. They're still speaking to us through that document today, living document from the grave, when it was written back in 1776. And that's the document we're supposed to follow. Whatever happens in the real world should always transcend in the digital world. Intellectual properties and digital rights should be the same, no matter if it's a physical thing in my hand, like say this tablet that's in this bag. It's physical, but it's digital. But anything that's digital should have the same rights and the same laws and the same protections as something that is physical. And I've always said this, because that's what opened up the door for Homeland Security and all these agencies to get surveillance, to tap your phone, because nobody made any laws to make it so they couldn't. And when 9/11 came in, that's when it opened up the door to all that. See? And it's gotten a lot worse since then. What happened back in 9/11 was just Stone Age compared to what they're doing now, which is a lot worse. They get everything you do, basically. Everything you skim up, everything you do on the web, every email you have, every conversation you have, everything you do through social media, everything you do through private chat, anything you do through an encrypted messaging, anything you do is being recorded somewhere. I mean, I work with this stuff all the time, so I'm not going to lie to you. I am an IT professional. This is what I do. Okay? So I'm telling you, this is what is going on. And I've warned people about this for a number of years, and it's gotten really worse. And like I said, more people are going to jail for speech violations because of something they said online or something they said in a video. It's getting real ridiculous. I mean, are we living in America, folks, right now? Or are we living in Korea or Russia? I mean, the kind of stuff that we see going on right now with the First Amendment, electronically, and even physically, with some people being persecuted and being arrested on their groundless, warrantless charges. This is not America by any definition. I mean, when I came up in America in the 1970s, we were a lot more freer then than we are today. And a lot of people use the word freedom but don't really know what freedom is because we're not free. If we were free, we wouldn't have this kind of stuff going on with our digital intellectual properties online through social media. All that stuff's being monitored. Do you know when your kids go to school, I've mentioned this in the videos, and you can go back and look, because I'll say it again. Everything that your kids are doing online is being monitored by law enforcement. Did you know that? Everything they're doing online, every chat they're having, everything they're doing on social media, everything, no matter what they're on, the authorities can see everything you're doing in real time. You know why? Because we didn't make laws, so they couldn't. And, they say, well, they argue, well, today it is, we got to see everybody what they're doing so we can stop stuff before it starts. Well, if these people get smart, they're going to stop using social media. So then what are you going to do? You're going to put stuff in the lights and try to monitor conversations? Well, people can get smart and they go to places where there ain't those lights. So you can't hear what they're saying with the fiber optic microphones. I mean, come on. People know where all this stuff is. They're going to figure it out and they're not going to be around and you ain't going to hear anything. So then you're going to be back to square one. So all the technology you got ain't going to do you any crap because they're not going to be on social media talking about their plans of blowing up a school or shooting up a school or whatever they do. They're going to do it offline. They're going to do it person to person and do it the old way. Because kids are going to get smart and they're going to stop using social media, especially when they know they're all being monitored by law enforcement and other agencies, because they are. And I understand why they're doing it. I understand that there is some good to it. But there's a lot of bad going on because we've got some perverts that actually work for these agencies that are watching these naked videos that teenagers are sending, which they shouldn't be sending naked videos of their naked self on these things, but they are. And there's a lot of old people doing it too. There's people over here in this complex sending naked pictures over social media. They're not supposed to be doing it. It's actually against the law to do that. It's just not being enforced, but if somebody were to enforce it every time somebody sent a nudity picture of a certain part of their anatomy, and it got intercepted, because when it goes through the air, it's intercepted. It can be intercepted by anything. And if you're sending something out that's nudity, and you're sending something out that's inappropriate, they can fine you $100,000 each instance. Did you know that? Yeah, $100,000 each incident. So keep sending that picture of your vagina. Keep sending those boob pictures out. You know who you are. You better quit it, because if you don't, you're gonna might get a fine. But we got some people around here doing that. You live right here in Harbor Square. Yep. So, like I said, I'm an IT person. I see all this stuff. I see it all floating around all the time, and, you just see it. It's right there. It just comes through the air, And like I said, it's not safe. It's not encrypted. It's just out there. People can grab it. And law enforcement can do the same thing. They can grab it. Yeah. FBI can grab it. Homeland Security, they got a box out on a pole, they can grab it. I'm sure they do. And so, like I said, when they start hammering down this stuff, they're going to start finding the mess out of all you people keep sending these nudity boob pictures and nudity crotch pictures and other stuff that shouldn't be sent online like that. So if I were you, I'd stop doing your naked love fest, whoever you are, you know who you are. Because your days are numbered. I'm going to let you know that now. I'm not trying to be mean, but, I'm not going to tell you who the names are, because like me, I don't give names about test stuff, okay? But I just know, because cops have told me that there's people over here doing this. And I know, and other people that I know that work in the NSA and all have told me it's coming from this neighborhood, from this apartment complex. A couple people in there doing it. On their phones and tablets and computers. So like I'm telling you, you better stop, because they know you're doing it. Everybody wait a little while, and then they'll send you a whole bunch of fines in the mail, because all they have to do is trace it to your ISP, trace it to your IP address, and they got you. That's all they got to do. It's really that simple. It doesn't take but a few minutes to do it. And they send you the fine in your email, or send it through your physical mail, and you got to pay that fine and take it to court. I mean, if they do the speech thing, that's what's going to happen to everybody. Everybody out here doing stuff like this, they're going to end up getting a lot of fines. Because when they censor speech, that's what's going to happen. And I don't think people understand what happened on Friday, but this is really dangerous. And I'm not trying to scare people, but this is really what happened. Digitally, there is a war to overthrow the First Amendment. And I know I start ranting about that because it makes me mad that people would be sending naked pictures through the internet, in this complex. But they shouldn't be doing that. And, it makes me mad because adults are supposed to have more common sense. And there's a lot of teenagers that sending pictures around here too. And at schools too, there's a lot of naked pictures being sent around, locker rooms and things like that. And like I'm telling you, this stuff has got to stop, okay? Because you're going to get fined. All they have to do, like I just said, they can go to your ISP carrier, whoever it is, AT&T, Sprint, whoever you're with, or Comcast, and all they have to do is trace it to your IP address, and they got your box, and they got you. Okay? Because everything you have is signed an IP address that's unique to every device. That's how they're set up on the web. Okay, and that's how they trace you, and they can trace you to your physical location from that digital IP address. It's called a program called an overlay inversion. And all they have to do is plug in your IP address, and they can find exactly where you're at and find out the exact address, physical address where you're at. That's called a backwards IP address lookup. Okay, so to let you know, I'm not kidding. I know how to do this stuff because I do this for a living. And, I know what they do because this is the stuff, the tools they use. So, and it only takes a few minutes to do that. Maybe not even that, maybe less than 15 seconds. So what I'm telling you, you got to stop sending these nudity pictures out. Stop sending these naked pictures of body parts that shouldn't be shown in public on sending out on media anyway. And especially you teenagers, you got to stop doing that. Whoever, you know who you are. And the ones that aren't doing that's good. But the ones that are doing it, you know who you are. You better stop. So make sure you tell your friends to stop sending those naked pictures to your boyfriends or girlfriends or lesbian friends or whatever, or gay friends or whatever you're sending them to. You better quit that if that's what you're doing. Just to let you know, just for your FYI, because they are starting to track it. They're starting to monitor that. And I want to tell you, they have made all independent media influencer. Remember us talking about that last night? We're the influencers of the web, meaning all people that are independent voices are influencers. Like we are terrorists. Oh boy. We tell the truth while all these other people that have been bought out by the government can't tell the truth and they have to say real news on their news channels when really they're not even telling any real news at all. They're just garbling and regurgitating what they're told to tell and what they're not. And they're not even speaking real news. They're reporting about cats being stuck up in trees or, give an update on the condition of a cat that was shot in Richmond. Who cares? That's not real news. Who cares? That's not news at all. When you're reporting on something like that, that's not even real news. I don't care about a cat and a dog. It's a shame it got shot, but that's not real news. We need to report on real news, not news about cats and dogs getting shot and getting an update on the condition. Who cares about that? That is not real news. Real news is talking about the weather. Real news is talking about what's going on. That's what real news is. We're not supposed to be covering dog and cat stories. I know it's cute and all, but that's not real journalism. That's what I've seen on some of our channels. They don't have nothing to cover, so they cover stupid stuff like that. And it's cute and it's heartfelt, but it's not real news. It's not real journalism. There's good news you can cover. We can talk about church events. We talk about it here all the time on our spiritual segment. We have a spiritual segment coming up this week. We do one every week. And we will talk about some good stuff there. And we'll change gears altogether from the regular stuff. But you need to watch InfoWars tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. They're going to be streamed from Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. That's what that stands for. And D.C. And it's very nice up there. And they're going to be broadcasting this. And it's important that you watch and share this with everybody far and wide. As many times as you want, share the link. Share the programs. If you can't do it through YouTube because it's bogged down, go to Infowars.com. That's Infowars.com. Info, it's I-N-F-O, wars, all one word, W-A-R-S.com. And go there and click on the video and hit share. And share it to what your media is. If it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, share it, Pinterest, whatever it is. Share it out to all the platforms that you're on, whatever the X they are. Now, I can't put it on Instagram because the video will be a lot longer than a minute. So that won't go, or on Snapchat because they're too long. You might be able to share it on Tuboscope or Horoscope. I think it's called Tuboscope. It's not a telescope, but Tuboscope for videos. It's another program that people use in social media. You can share it on there, a streamcast like that, or you can do your own streamcast and be shared on there. You might want to share that there. if you're able to. You have a way to do it. And, like I said, just be careful out here, people. I mean, I care about the people in Harbor Square, believe it or not. I mean, I might talk about stuff that goes on around here because, it bothers me. And when things are not true that are going on, that are unjust, like what's happening to me here, yeah, I talk about it because it bothers me. It's not because I'm obsessing over this lady, no. You got it all wrong. It's the opposite. I'm talking about her because of what's happening. Nothing's been done about it. And here I'm being evicted when it should be the other way around. I mean, how can people sit there and lie on you at a level of magnitude and say these things and still live here? I don't know. It makes slander accusations say you made a threat on their life when they falsely reported that too to the police. I mean, how can these people live here and how are they free? Because that's slander. But see, the cops can't arrest because it's criminal, but it's a civil offense. So the only way they could be arrested is through civil court. See, that's hopefully what we plan to remedy. If we go to court, that's what we're going to remedy with a countersuit. And, like I said, that's the problem. I mean, if they wanted to talk about going to court, they should have just left them alone, left the Shields alone, left me alone, stopped lying about everybody, and just left everything alone. But they couldn't leave it alone. That's why we're where we're at. That's why we got the gloves off. That's why we're in the boxing ring. That's why we're going to have to go to court and duke it out. Because somebody named Barbara Poe and Patricia Tyler opened their mouth. They did all this stuff. They told all these lies. They lied about everything. And they lie all the time. There's no truth that comes out of any of their mouths. It reverberates out of there, like I've always said. And I don't care anymore. I don't really give a damn. Not a lawyer. I don't care about the landlord because it's all a bunch of lies. I can't believe she would listen to that trash. And for her to be a landlord to side with her without even knowing all the information and all the history. She only knows Barbara's side. I mean, like I said, I've never been heard. Because she's already made her mind up. I'm out of here, man. But, that's wrong. I mean, there's favoritism going on there. There's discrimination because I'm handicapped. I'm legally blind. I'm being discriminated against because of my handicap. I mean, there's so many things going on wrong here on so many levels here at Harbor Square towards me. I could say all this stuff and I would win because it's what's going on here. There's favoritism being shown towards Barbara Poe and Patricia Tyler. There's, she's treating them treating them differently. And no landlord's supposed to be doing that according to the laws of Virginia. It's called common law, or what we call Commonwealth law, which means equal. Everybody's supposed to be treated equally. Nobody gets treated any differently for any reason just because of their sex or gender or any other. Everybody gets treated fairly and the same. And everybody needs to be heard the same. And I feel like, apparently this woman, landlord, must have had something happen to her, so she seems to think that what happened to her sustains or suffices just to believe Barbara because things have happened bad to Barbara, and so she sides with her automatically because of her experiences. And I think it's what's happened here. And that's not, you can't go by feelings, you got to go by what is called facts and go by proof and truth, not hearsay or what I feel, or because if we sentimental everything, then we would be killing and putting a lot of people in jail for no reason over a feeling. You got to go by facts, not feelings. Feelings, I know, begin with an F, but facts are really what hold, not feelings or emotions. Okay? And that's what I see a lot of that going on here when I study it and analyze it. What I've seen going on here with these ladies and how these cats, how they operate. In their little clique they got established here, too, as well, that the landlord insists that there isn't any, but there really is one. We just named 8 of them out of 12 that are in it. Today and yesterday. And I could go through that again. You can look at that video. And we told you what buildings they live in. We didn't say exactly where they live. We just said what buildings they live in. We gave you their names. So, there is a real clique here. And we got the structure. We got the chart. We're going to show that in court. We had a little chart. Yeah, we got it all drawn out. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on, and we have to really, Yeah, I mean, this could be reversed. I mean, all you have to do is call the lawyer and just cancel it. I mean, yeah, they got to pay the money either way because the ways they have to pay the lawyer for their time. But yeah, it could be reversed because the lawyer's the one, I mean, the landlord's the one that called the lawyer and the one that got it going anyway. So to sit there and say, well, it went to the lawyer and it's all in her hands. No, it wasn't. You made a phone call and transmitted it over to the lawyer, and that's how it got in her hands. Don't talk to me like I'm some dummy, like I said in the office. Because it's up to your discretion to call the lawyer, and you called the lawyer, that's why it's in their hands. Because it didn't just magically delicious get there, unless you called them, and that's how it got there. Because it's up to the landlord's discretion on matters like this, how to handle it. And that's the way you chose to handle it. Okay? And that's basically what I said in the office. Because that's truly what happened. So, don't be sitting there trying to tell me you try to work things out with me and do the best you can to prevent this from happening, because you didn't do anything. You did your damnedest to make it happen because that you believed all the stuff that she's telling you. That's why it's happening. Just like the YouTube channel. It's not illegal to have a YouTube channel. It's not illegal to say your mind on a YouTube channel. I know the laws more than you do because I have this channel and I know all about freedom of speech. And I know all about copyright infringement. I know all about what I'm doing. That's why I have the channel. You do not. And therefore, if I'm saying something on here and you don't like it, well, I'm educated. I call people out when they're doing something wrong. And when somebody's doing something wrong, like Barbara's done, and Patricia Tyler, and and Danny, and whoever else is in this, you doggone right I'm going to call them out. Because I'm educated. I'm going to call them out because they did wrong. And I'm going to call them out on it. So, you can think of whatever you want. But, I'm just telling the truth. And they can say it's slanderous or whatever they want. But they can say whatever they want. But, I've proven in court it won't be slander. Because slander is when you make up something on somebody. I'm not making anything up. Barbara's made a whole lot of stuff up on me. I mean, knocking on the windows, hacking in the Wi-Fi's, hacking in her computer, lying, saying that I threatened her life when I never threatened her life at all. Lies. I ain't gonna say, man, I regress anymore. And who knows what she told you? It probably was more of the same. Lies, and you believed it. So there you go, folks. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Janine believed it. Not everybody out here believed it, but Janine, the landlord, did. She believed it. Because she believed the lies. That's why there's a deal made up. That's why there's violations she had disappeared. Magically delicious. Yep. She had 5 of them in her folder jacket. Because I remember her telling me that she had 5 and I have 5 and she said we both had about the same amount of violations, and then all of a sudden hers disappeared. It's kind of weird how that happened. Yeah, some deal was struck. That's how they disappeared. Some deal she made with her. That's why they disappeared, buddy. Because that's why she gets special treatment. That's how hers magically delicious disappeared. That shredder was shredding them up. The bags, right? Yeah, that's why she bought one 3 weeks before that happened. Magically delicious. Yeah. A lot of things magically delicious happen around here. But anyway, we'll look into that. We'll be investigating that. But like I said, there's different things. Because it'd be kind of funny if somebody found some shreds from those papers that were shredded, that were in her folder, that were in the trash. It'd be kind of neat if somebody had those papers. I bet you she shit her britches, man. She'd be sewing her britches up there. That'd be a surprise of her of the century, wouldn't it? Those things miraculously, magically appeared even though they're all shredded up. And the bags that she threw out in the dumpster, wouldn't that be something? I tell you, I hope they don't turn up. Because it'd be her ass if they do. But anyway, but like I say, weird things happen. There's all kinds of things that happen. All kinds of ways of getting stuff. I can play the game too. So, like I say, there's all kinds of weird things we can do. Yeah, they're playing some weird stuff too. We can do it too. You want to play a little slicker slacker games. Well, like I say, I hope they don't turn up. Because I tell you what, that'll definitely seal the coffin. I'll definitely throw that definitely, shut that down. I hope they don't come up there. And those things are in them Walmart bags and show up there and give them to the judge all shredded up, where she shredded them up in the shredder. on Saturday, and was putting them in a dumpster separately from the rest of her trash. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The judge also, he has them in his hand, in his bags. It's 4 bags. So, it's probably the file papers that were in her folder. That's how they got disappeared, But anyway, I hope not. But that's rumors, But you never know if it comes to fruition. It won't be a rumor. It won't be a conspiracy because it'll be real. And somebody might have really the evidence in their hand or in a closet or something. They might have it off-site stored somewhere so somebody would come in their apartment and try to take it between now and the court hearing. They might have already did all the bases, so they got all that stuff under wraps. So in case someone tries to pull something, they're already way ahead of them because it's not even on site. So anyway, I just hope we don't have to go to court because even without those papers, I wouldn't even need the shredded papers of the documents that she shredded because I don't really need them because I can get her on all this slander and stuff because I have it all documented, and the cops, they got it all documented. Their officers are going to be there in the court, so it's all there, folks. I mean, that's all, folks. That's all for her, because she didn't want to make up all these things on me, so I didn't make up anything on her. All I'm doing is just reporting of what really happened here. And that's what really went down. And the dirty sheets. And the wash. So, that's what I'm saying, But like I said, freedom of speech is under attack, people. And that doesn't mean electronically. That means physically, too. We are not in America anymore. We are in some other country. The way this country is right now with what they're doing to speech is not America, folks. So be aware of that. Be careful. And, and we wanted to say there was one presumed dead out of the Trump Tower fire in Manhattan, New York yesterday in other news. And of course, there was one that died. And, of course, there were 40 people that were injured. So we have 40 people, I think is what it said there. Estimated. Well, it could be wrong. It could be 4 or 40. I think I heard 40. So we had 40 people that were injured and 1 person died. There was 1 fatality in the tower of New York fire that happened yesterday. Sad to say. Sorry, Trump, for your damage in your tower. Sorry, I don't know what caused it. They don't know if it was sabotage or if it was foul play or if there was an overheated electrical or a heat pump or something malfunction. We don't know. But as soon as we find out, we'll let you know the real story, what's going on, like we always do, as it becomes available to us. But in other news, like I said, pray for our country, pray for the leadership in this country, pray for President Trump, and and pray that he can overthrow the people that have made this law to take away our First Amendment, and be able to put protections in place to keep the other amendments safe, and also to keep the